Hello and welcome to the GameSpot UK podcast. We were all sort of enthralled by watching Seb's new intro movie.
Seb's got an intro
Which,
movie.
if you've just joined us, so you probably are slowly creeping in as you usually do every week, you've missed and was amazing. But maybe we can get Seb to play it again later.
Yeah, a treat.
Yeah, we're getting to play it again later.
Feature.
Halfway through, bonus feature. So I'm Mark Walton. I'm joined as ever by Guy Cocker.
Hello.
Hello. Sarah Lynch.
Hi there.
And Martin Gaston.
You right?
Welcome to the show, everyone.
You said joined as ever, but you have a revolving door
Yeah.
policy on your guests.
That guy literally wasn't here last
I
week.
literally
No, okay.
actually wasn't here.
I say revolving door, it's when Cam comes up to me and goes, I really, really want to be on the podcast this week.
Yeah.
Does he bounce up and down like a kid?
He does. No, he does. He
That's
really
when he
does.
jumps in and he goes, Brocast, I love bros.
Love bros. Check out my
Yeah.
fucking sweet. Oh,
He'll only do
I
it.
totally swore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I swore on the live stream, but that is bleeped out in the actual thing.
Edit it
Time
out.
code.
Edit it out.
Because
I'm
of course
sorry.
you don't swear.
I don't swear normally, but I
of
apologise
course,
for my
the fifth-
foul language.
The fifth member of the gang is Seb Ford, doing production over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Valiantly battling away, making intros, censoring out Mark's cuss.
I'm sorry.
Are we like the Oscars where you can be like, 10 seconds behind just in case
think
you
so.
say
A mild
the
delay.
Oscars?
Yeah.
There is a bit of a delay.
Although, is there any censorship on Twitch on this stuff? I know we shouldn't do it for obvious,
I'd say
professional reasons, but is on Twitch, is there
I think you can swear. I mean,
think
there's
you can swear.
there've been news reports of pro gamers saying much
Yeah.
worse things.
Yeah.
I think
I have sworn on Twitch during my time at GameSpot, and I'm still here.
Yeah, but that was with Danny O'Dwyer.
I need
right?
to
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
talk
well,
to you about
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Danny O'Dwyer is a sweary man.
he is a sweary man, isn't he? That is a thing that he does.
I think the only rules around Twitch are around nudity.
Yeah.
So don't get naked.
I'm sorry.
Not just because of Twitch. Just don't do it.
Okay.
So if you're a pro gamer, don't accidentally start broadcasting on Twitch and do entertaining yourself in what
Again.
should be the privacy of your bedroom.
Again,
But
as long as I don't do it again.
Yeah, that was just
I'll
a
be
formal
alright.
warning. That was fine.
Oh, they said they wanted it in the stream.
Look at the viewers. Look at the viewers. Bring us the viewers.
You sure you weren't on chat roulette?
oh,
Oh man, don't get me started on my time with chat roulette.
Yeah. That's the opposite rule. Is that
Yeah,
yeah.
you've got to be naked.
You've got
Yeah.
to.
otherwise people don't talk to you.
Right. Exactly. It's next.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I hear.
They say.
that's the thing people say.
Is chat roulette still going?
I think so.
Probably
Yeah.
bigger than ever. Don't look now. Save it for
Chat
later.
roulette, yeah. There's probably. I wonder if there's an app for it now. There must be.
Of course there is. There's an app for
All those
everything.
front-mounted cameras, what do you
Yeah,
think they're
I know.
for, Mark?
Well, chatting to one's loved ones.
Skyping your loved ones? No.
Yeah.
No, that's for you.
Talking
Your
to
wang out.
strangers, junk.
Talking to strangers' junk. I can't say I've ever had a conversation with a stranger's junk before directly. Like
Directly?
Well, you just
We
said,
did it. What are you on
said-
about? We did it at your party.
Yeah, we did, but they wasn't directly talking to their junk, was it?
Mark had a house party where we got a projector and chat roulette set
Oh
up.
my god.
It was amazing.
It was
We
hilarious.
projected it onto the wall while we were all sort of like drinking, and then every now and then it would just be weird. We kept flicking through, and every now and then it should be like some dude's junk, or like some people just actively doing it in
Wow.
front of the camera.
Doing it on a camera?
It was really weird.
Shameful.
Wow, I'd be way too shy.
Although, like every say, like I don't know, 20 or so, there'd be like one person who'd just be like, "Hello."
Aw.
Can I come to your party?
Yeah.
And then everyone at your party went, next.
Next.
I don't know how you.
It's weird.
The kind of. I don't know if I've got the self-esteem to do it in front of chat roulette.
It's weird.
Like, I don't know how I would get that.
Well, look, it's like we were having this conversation the other day about the GTA 4 GIMP mask that we have. Which is,
Yeah.
This is totally video games
Sure.
related.
Yeah, you bring it in.
And we were saying who would want this, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
whatever floats your boat,
You're bored. Friday night, you want to just do something you haven't tried before. Actually, people are saying on the Twitch comments that this is perfect advertising for chat roulette. So we should say that other
Streaming,
Random-
Other
talking to
random
randoms
talking-
are available.
talking to randoms.
I'm not
with
sure
their
they
chat
are.
roulette.
I was going to say, I
Yeah.
really don't think there are. Although there was a thing that I read today about online dating that they've launched this. Again, this is an app that they've launched that is basically online dating but blind dating. So you go on there and everyone's photos, they're all blurred out and they have like weird names and you know nothing about them. All you do is you go, I want to meet here, then.
So why even upload the photo?
Well, that's the idea.
So you know nothing about them. They're you
It's
don't
a
know
total.
their age.
The idea is
their-
to go from the extreme of online dating, is where you go and Google this person's name,
Yeah.
see what they
Yeah.
get up to, blah 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 blah. Look at all their photos, go nice minger, whatever, right? And then I do not do that.
No.
And then meet them. Whereas this is like know nothing. It's like an old school way of dating.
I suppose it's slightly more honest than the way people do it now. Surely, like anyone who is putting a profile up would be lying anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We
I think
all
that could
lie.
work out better for me.
Who really knows anyone, Mark?
No one knows anyone anymore, Sarah. Anyway, what's been happening this week in the office?
Anyone?
It's a busy week for news.
Oh yeah,
ish.
sure. But Sarah was
PS4 this,
Yeah.
Xbox 720 that.
Of which there will be many questions.
Do you want to talk
Oh,
about news
dear.
now? Is that part? of it?
No. I mean, we can
There's a
talk-
quiz.
There's a quiz.
quiz
Oh,
later.
yeah, I
So.
forgot
There's
the
a quiz
yeah.
on lots of things.
It's been quite. I had quite a busy day yesterday. I didn't go home till like 8 o'clock.
What?
Normally I leave at 5:30ish.
There were a number of different stories and THQs happening today as well. Which we
THQ will be happening later today.
Oh, we can talk about that because I haven't.
What time's
it's not
that
in the news
kick off?
quiz.
The auction. THQ. Okay, so with the THQ saga last year ended with them declaring bankruptcy. They were going to sell themselves off for a reported $60 million, American dollars, to
Canadian dollars.
Clearwater something maybe, and it's a firm like a bank, someone with that much money to buy them, and that sale was blocked, and they had to, and the ruling was that they had to then. THQ had to put its individual IPs up for basically auction,
Yeah.
and that auction is happening today.
But
in
behind
America.
closed doors.
Yeah,
So the rumor
they're
is
not putting it on Twitch.
no.
It'd be great.
Or chat roulette.
Yeah.
The rumor is that a lot of other publishers, big publishers like EA
Yeah.
and etc., are going to be attending and
EA,
possibly on the
Warner
lookout
Brothers.
for some of their
Saints
IPs.
Row and-
Saints Row is a big one. Yeah.
Ubisoft can finally get Patrice back.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back to us, Patrice.
Come make some more Assassin's Creeds, you traitor.
Brent, do whatever you did to make Assassin's Creed 2 good.
Yeah.
Again, please, thanks, Patrice.
Wow, I'd love to be in that room.
Do you think how that's it's gonna go down? Like that enactment there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That'll be Yves.
When they auction these things, is it like a British auction where it's like some guy
Oh, yeah.
and he's like, 1 million, 2 million,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, 25 pounds for Saints Row.
Good ones, good ones.
So Yves get him out in the back there. Patrice! Is Patrice on Saints Row? No. Oh, bollocks. I've wasted $750 million.
What do you, I mean,
Which one's Patrice on?
I mean, they're selling off the individual IPs. Do you think they
Yeah.
could just put like, we'd like Patrice, please? Patrice, good ones, good ones.
Yeah. They could get an whole studio with him in. Like, but basically, the sale of the IPs has to be more than the reported $60 million figure that the first sale was going to be. So basically, the whole auction will only go through if the total amount raised is more than what was originally being sold.
Sorry,
Okay.
someone's leg
There's
was
some-
jiggling, so someone's leg needs to stop jiggling. Is that about right, Seb? Yeah,
sorry, I
there
think
we
it
go.
was me, but I'm not sure. I wasn't consciously doing it if
No
I was,
leg
so
jiggling.
I'm sorry.
Carry on.
Seb had his angry producer face.
He did. Someone was in
Bad
trouble.
I was scared.
podcasters.
So they have to raise more than 60 million.
Yeah, basically, they're going to sell games and maybe they'll games.
So what happens if they don't reach that?
Yeah.
Then the whole of THQ goes to that group that name I have forgotten. The
Clearwater.
investment group.
The investor, yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay, interesting.
Because people were there because the worry was that original sale, which you remember happened about mid-December, wasn't. They could have got more money out of it. So then it was ruled that they had to try and see if they get more money out of it.
Right.
I'm guessing the likelihood is they will get more money for it. If any of these people, I'm sure, I'm sure money will be spent on certain IPs. I mean, you've got South Park up for grabs. Which
Yeah.
That's looking great as well.
apparently looking good. Yeah. And other games, many more.
Other games,
Other
many
games.
other
Other games
games.
like
games,
Sundry
yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
You draw.
Yeah.
That was
That big
very
seller.
popular, yeah.
Yowza.
I should have a feature going up today that summarises THQ's predicament in more detail. If
It's
you-
live now, actually.
Oh,
Do you want
it's
me
live
to?
now.
If you wanna, oh, I've
Stick it in the Twitch chat.
I've closed the window, but I will stick it into the Twitch chat.
Yeah, there's
Tiny URL,
some
that stuff.
old news stories like over the years that are quite interesting. There's a couple of quotes, which I think there's just one quote in there, but I thought it was interesting, and just some of the stuff that is basically my theory as to how THQ ended up in this situation.
Yeah.
And just to confirm, 50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
Yeah.
What's the sequel coming, maybe? If,
Yeah,
if they buy
look,
that
all right.
license.
50 Cent Blood in the Sand is a cult classic.
Really?
Yes.
It is,
It's
yeah.
not bad.
Genuinely is.
It's not bad.
It's genuinely a cult
To be
classic.
fair, I've never played it. I
It's-
shouldn't judge.
It's ludicrous.
Okay.
Right?
Is it like fun bad? Is it like that? Oh, what was it? The game with Vin Diesel in it, where it was supposed to be Vin Diesel, and they
Oh,
did
no,
they
that
change
was,
the name of him?
Because
The
Wheelman.
Wheelman.
Wheelman was terrible.
Oh, I
Yeah.
had to review that.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It was bad.
Is it like that?
It's literally 2.6 times better than the Wheelman.
Wow.
uh,
Wow.
it has a button. It has like a profanity button,
What?
and you can
So
like
you just swear as you're walking along?
yeah, and you can choose to like, unlock. So as you play the game, you get like credits and stuff,
Yeah.
and as you progress, you can unlock more profanities.
Awesome.
And
so you get more variety.
Yeah, so you choose what profanity you've got, and also when you use the profanities, it keeps your combo meter going. So
Amazing.
it's basically the best game ever made.
For that alone, it sounds amazing. It's probably available for
So
£2.
you'd be like,
you know.
punch, and you can't get to
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
dude. So as you're running over to him, you'd shout, I don't know, fluffernutters,
Yeah,
and then whack him in the face.
Mother Flippers is a
Yeah.
good one,
Mother flippers, yeah.
and it's obscene. It's quite funny though.
It does. It sounds like
Sounds
it
quite
accurately
fun.
embodies 50
Yeah.
Cent. The
Well,
artist.
there we go. I mean, surely someone's
True
going
to
to be
life.
there. 20 quid
I'm
for
doing
that.
my
Boom.
weekly thing now where I bring up an old game from the past that I suddenly thought about that probably isn't.
What was your one
relevant.
for last week?
I don't know. I forget. There's always one.
I can bring up an old game that
Yeah,
is
do
not
that.
relevant anymore.
Go on.
Because I played it over the weekend. I was waiting for a bus, as you do, and there's a CEX right next to it, so I popped in, and there it was, Brutal Legend for £2. And I was like, you know what, I never played Brutal Legend.
2 quid.
I like double finey stuff.
Yeah.
Let's give that a go. It's not great.
What
Did
you
you
were
guys
saying, the
play when it
audio
came
is
out?
not very good.
Yes, the sound design is terrible. Like when it cuts between, like when they're actually speaking, like the actors they recorded, that stuff all sounds fine. But like the mix behind and like all the sound effects and everything, it's just, yeah, it's distractingly bad. Unless they meant it to be kitschy bad, but I don't think that is the case.
No, because Jack Black's in that, isn't he? Does
He
the
is.
voice acting.
Yeah, he did all
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
voice
so like all the
acting.
voice
It's
acting,
essentially
that's-
Jack Black in a game.
Yeah,
It's not even
that
like a
stuff all
character.
sounds fine, but it's all like the background like mood. Yeah, oh, bad,
Okay.
bad.
No.
Well, speaking.
Well, at least it was only £2 down the drain,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I might carry on playing it because I actually started playing that because I didn't find DMC all that interesting.
Boo.
Talk more about
Yeah.
that. That's
Sorry.
interesting.
Boo.
No, talk
Why?
more about that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I like things that are more story based, I guess. And you know, it's nice that they've apparently injected more story into the rest of the games. I only played the first one. I haven't played 2 to 4.
Yeah.
When I played it much younger, and when I played that, I was like, "This is so cool! I'm jumping in the air and shooting guns and you phone and stuff." Pow, 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 pow. But maybe that interests me less now, and it's all like each level you go through and you progress. It's all based on like your score at the end and did you get your double S and
Yeah.
pulling off sweet combos. And I don't think I'm that interested in sweet combos.
Is that a general thing for you in terms of?
I think it's a general thing for me. So I think for many people, they'll really like this game, but I'm kind of having to push myself to play it.
Yeah, you mean you do have to be into that hack and slash sort of
Yeah.
high score thing. Otherwise, it just doesn't. It's just
Yeah,
not gonna work
exactly.
for
So
you,
like the
but-
story elements, I guess that's nice and stuff, but because the main basis of the game is hack and slash, which isn't too great for me.
Oh.
What is Martin giggling
I'm
about?
sorry, I've just spotted the Portal repulsion gel thing we've got up in the studio.
Oh, you can see it on the live stream, I think.
Which
Can
is
you point the
such
camera? Yeah.
such a good quote. The
Which one there?
This one.
Repulsion gel was Aperture's first attempt to create a dietic pudding substitute.
yeah,
Okay.
and also the if a
quite
future
amusing.
you tries to warn you about this test,
Don't
listen.
listen.
Basically, I've got to stop looking at the Portal thing because it just makes me think about Portal.
Oh,
No.
Portal.
It's okay to not like DMC. Like I
Yeah.
think there are plenty of things that you know, the idea that all games have to be for everyone or
Exactly.
no one. Like that's one of my big things with the games industry. The idea that like we have to reach a consensus, and the game has then been judged, and we've now judged it to be good, and therefore you, Sarah, must fall in line with theirs.
Do you think
That's
that?
fine.
Do you think that attitude's still there? I'm not so sure.
I think-
I think people have escaped that attitude.
The
Or
end
at
of
least-
last
at
year,
least
you were
coming
seeing
into it.
so many like split different scores coming
Yeah.
out, and I thought that was great. And then this year, DMC landed, and everyone was like, consensus again.
It's consensus, but I think
Which is not necessarily a bad thing. People could just have come to the same conclusion.
No, I mean,
separately.
I think it's a great game, and the consensus is a great game if you hate using that phrase.
If
but
you like it,
if
you'll
you
like
like
it.
hack and slash games,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you like previous DMC games,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
gonna
You're
love
gonna
it.
love
Yes.
it.
Or
But,
probably not.
Probably
Well-
not.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, probably not.
If you played the game, you might love it, but if you have to get over the character,
Yeah.
obviously.
If you enjoy the game, then you'll like the game.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Okay, maybe if it still happens, I think it's becoming less true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I think a lot of people are trying to do their best to really kick that attitude off the cliff of feelings.
Feels.
Cliff of feelings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
This is probably in the news quiz later, but DMC got to number 1 off
Yeah.
the back of.
It's not, so go nuts.
Go nuts. Well, it's already available on the site. If you do want to read about it while I'm going nuts,
Yeah.
but you can. The game sold. Went to number 1, but it sold a third as many copies as DMC4, which was the last game released back in 2008. So I'm on your turf here, Martin. This is
Sorry,
Martin's
mate.
news
It's and from
area.
can have
reading
it.
Martin's news. Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, I don't know in the UK, but many millions fewer Xboxes and PlayStation 3s around 4 years ago, so I think it reflects badly on DMC's chart success.
Yeah.
Despite the fact they got a number 1.
And it had more days to sell. As
And
I
it
read
was
in your
released on a Tuesday?
Story.
Although the charts, to be fair, to give the counterweight to that, the charts have been traditionally in an awful place for about the last year.
Yeah.
like
Do you want-
consistently for the last year.
Because our charts don't include digital yet, right? Or they don't include Steam. As far
They
as I know.
no, they're just physical sales.
Yeah.
Physical
Right.
sales, right?
So that's the thing, you know.
The PC version of DMC is not out yet.
No, and I'm not saying
yeah,
it's going
yeah.
to sell tons, but I just mean in general. You say that retail's really bad in terms of that's what they're looking at. They're looking at
Yeah.
box products. But if they were looking at digital, would you say it was still as?
No, I wouldn't.
You can download DMC on this particular example. You can download DMC on PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a look now and see how much it is. I'm
Probably-
For about
Really?
£4,500.
At least. Yeah.
What is it?
It's like 60 quid retail, isn't it?
No, what's the
Yeah.
link? Store.playstation.com
.com. Try that.
/login.
We have an EU in there somewhere.
PlayStation Store EU. Sorry, this is great.
When you just
listening
Google
for everyone.
PlayStation
Guy, you really have
Store.
gone nuts. This is crazy.
Crazy mental stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the charts, the UK charts are in a bad place generally. You're not seeing as many successes, and even last year there were games getting to number 1 off the back of not as many units as you would expect.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to put the number.
We're
on
not
it.
allowed to point out the
Yeah,
numbers.
like, legally obliged to not put the number on those.
Again,
What are the numbers?
That
That
said,
Tell us the things
Tell
you
us
weren't
the
supposed to
numbers.
say.
Why do you think this is though? Do you think it's a case of people having fatigue with the current generation console that they own? Is it that they just don't have enough money to buy as many games? I mean,
I think it's all of those factors.
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of the cases, I think you're going to see certain genres will suffer more than others. In that, if you have a fighting game, I think you're less likely to want to buy more fighting games because you've got you get enough fighting from your fighting game. I think racing is also in that situation quite a lot. In that, if you've got Forza 4, you might not be as compelled to rush out and buy another racing game. I think when you get new hardware, it's like when you get when you get your Blu-ray player, you buy your favorite films in Blu-ray. When you get a new console, you're like, well, I want a fighting game, a racing game, a shooting game, a jumpy game.
yeah.
Jumpy game.
Jumpy
I guess
game,
it's
go on.
because
My favourite
this generation console we had has been the longest, and
Yeah.
we haven't had a situation like this before where there hasn't been new hardware earlier in order to sort of stimulate the sales of software. So yes,
And of course, the typical thing the games that we are playing are getting longer. Like Skyrim still kicking around in the top 10, and with good reason, because you buy Skyrim and you do not need another video game for 17 years. There
Now
is
for PlayStation users as well.
yes, that did happen last week as well.
Yes.
Bethesda have finally announced that the Skyrim DLC that they've not been able to get working on PlayStation is now working on PlayStation.
Do you reckon they're just screw it, good enough?
bugs
We'll
and
find
all,
out.
Just
Like,
be like,
we
doesn't
will-
matter.
Yeah.
We will find out
Yeah.
very soon.
I think one of the things is as well, I was talking to Martin about this. Obviously, various different reasons as to why it's not done as well as its predecessors. These days, I mean, Skyrim. We were talking about it end of 2011 actually.
Yeah.
That game was reduced so quickly that I think that since then that seems to be the tipping point. people expect games to be reduced quite quickly. I fully expect DMC to be on sale within a few weeks. Maybe 20 quid. Do you think?
$24.99 a game by the end
$24.99.
of. I'll give it 2 weeks before it's $24.99 a game.
I mean, it's already there's one retailer, Cool Shop, which I can't.
Cool Shop.
I can't verify whether they're any good or not. They're selling PlayStation 3 version for $29.95. On PlayStation Network, it's $50. It's $49.99. So it's a full £20 cheaper to buy it on disc.
But there's the convenience of downloading it through Sony PlayStation's brilliant service.
Yeah, that's not
And the hyper fast internet connections we have available throughout the UK. It would be quicker for me to go to a shop, buy it cheaper, go home, and install it with all of the PlayStation updates than to download it.
In that time, you probably updated your PlayStation.
Yeah.
God, I sound like I'm ragging on the PlayStation.
No, carry on.
I'll even it out. Aren't those ads on the Xbox annoying?
Yeah,
they are.
There
we go.
Not
Even-
too annoying, but I could put
I've
up with
leveled
them. So there's that feeling I think with a lot of people. I'll just wait and sit. I don't desperately need it on day one. I'm not speaking about DMC here, but just in general. Don't need it on day one, so I'll wait. I'll hold off a couple of weeks and maybe we'll see it cheaper.
I don't know what people in the chat would expect to pay for RP, and I don't know what people listening would expect to pay, but I'm certainly interested to hear what price people now. It's rare that I buy a new game for more than 20 quid, and I have bought pretty much every one of Christmas's biggest games over the last month, all for about 20 quid. So
30 quid's $29.99 is for me the sort of threshold. I'm like, well, if it's more than that,
I've asked in the chat, and apparently people are saying £30 approx. I'm rarely above £30. Price point's 30.
There's a mental break at 30, I think, where you just go, yeah, that's a lot now.
I got Hitman Absolution over Christmas for 11 quid.
Bargain.
Well, I've not played it, but I bought it for £11, and
it's less than a month and a half old. So
now I do not buy games for full new price anymore. Maybe I might get GTA the day it comes out.
Yeah, I think that's one. Yeah.
But I am hoping that I'll get a good pre-order deal for it somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we're all becoming super savvy, and we know. I do believe that like Guy says, we know that things will be cheap soon. So the rushing out on day one is much less of a deal, I think, as it used to be.
Yeah. I think it's strange though, because with games you still have that, the day it comes out, they still could be 35, 39 quid.
Yeah.
But if you look at conversely with films, it used to be those same kind of prices for, first a brand new DVD and then more recently Blu-rays. They would be that like 40 quid for a film, and now they're like 20 quid when it first comes out. A week later, they're like 15. So it's weird that games haven't had that big drop-off in the initial sale price, whereas everyone else seems to. And you're not just thinking about comparing it to games, you're thinking with like everything else is dropping in price.
Sure.
And somehow they're still like holding out for these.
Well, I guess from a publisher's point of view, you're always going to have those really eager early adopters, even if there are less of them.
Yeah.
And I think the fact is you wouldn't want the base price to be lower, right? You'd want to sell it at that higher price to start with, and, rake in the money where you can and then lower it still. I don't think we're ever going to see like a drop. It's like the standard price of a game is 30, because then people are going to expect them to be 20 on sale.
Yeah.
It's not going to...
There's a lot of love in the chat for Ni No Kuni about people have paid a lot of money probably to import it, I guess, or would pay £40 for that game. They don't say whether it's the collector's edition with the little drippy doll.
Oh,
that would be
it comes with a little drippy with the thing on his nose.
Is that because that game's obviously really long? Is that a factor? Like, because if you buy Ni No Kuni, you're probably getting 60, 70 hours of gameplay out of that. Like, is the fact that it's really long? Yeah, I mean, is that one of the reasons why people are prepared to pay
a bit more?
Because I can tell you now that Devil May Cry, the new one, is quite short. I mean, it's not unsatisfying, but short enough that you can probably do it in 2-3 evenings.
Someone said that they spent £280 on Ni No Kuni. How is that possible?
What?
They had to buy a PlayStation maybe for it?
Yeah, that's quite possible. Yeah.
And imported a special edition that was only sold in Japan.
That is crazy. I remember actually...
It comes with a jacket and trousers.
The most I spent, and this is actually company money, so it's not my own money, I spent very close to £60 in Japan bringing back a copy of Anarchy Reigns for Mark to review.
Yes.
Feels like a bargain now,
and
doesn't
now,
it?
and now it's selling for like 11 quid again on online, so.
For the record, I will do someone a one-time only offer of Ni No Kuni with a very special drippy drawing that I'll make for the low price of 70 quid.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
There's
I
only
think
one
I'd
of
say
them.
that.
Is
There's
it,
only one
a
of them.
signed drawing?
It can be.
Okay. I think that might increase the value.
It's rare,
Yeah.
and the copy will be new. That's only £70. Email me if you want to go.
First come, first serve.
Yeah.
Can I just say that?
Of course you can have it.
Can I, no.
You get a special discount.
Can I just say that Ni No Kuni is awesome?
You play more of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Our
I
review
was
has
gonna
just
start that for
landed,
next
hasn't
week.
it?
It's not on the site.
Oh, okay.
It's going through an internal process.
So you're going through an internal process. We can't talk about it just yet, but it should be there soon.
It should
being
be. It will
carried.
definitely be there by this evening. Yeah.
Can we hazard a guess it might be better than the War Z?
I'm going to
the
hazard.
War Zs.
I'm going to hazard a guess and say that I think it's pretty damn good, and I think
Good.
the person that is reviewing it thinks it's pretty damn good.
Good,
So,
good.
Cool and
This
stuff.
is insider trading.
This
Wow.
is insider knowledge, isn't it?
well, the embargo's gone now, so we can actually we can say. What
You
we
can
would
talk
like
about
now.
your opinions, which you did in your mega live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. A lot of people in the chat on Twitch right now are saying, Ni No Kuni, they're really into it. I was surprised. I thought it was quite a niche game, but there we go.
Well, it's got the Ghibli attached to it.
Yep.
The Gibbles.
The Gibble.
I think everyone's quite keen. I mean, the JRPG fans are. There's quite a few of them basically, and I think they've all been keen for something really good for a while. That's more of that classic style,
Yeah.
console RPG.
Yeah. Seems like they've been on the Wii, but missing on PlayStation.
Yeah, they've been on the Wii, and I mean, particularly I think Final Fantasy fans like me are just like, can we have a decent RPG? And Ni No Kuni is it right now, and it's really good. Like, it's the sort of thing that I would want from a Final Fantasy game, because immediately when you start there, you're like, oh, world map, look at all the places I can go to and run around
All the
and
random
explore.
encounters
and all-
I have.
Oh, they're not even random.
They're not
mate.
actually,
They're
yeah,
not.
that's
No,
fair.
which is great. You can see little monsters. If you want to fight them, fight them. If you don't.
Good.
So yeah.
I'm hoping this will be like the JRPG that I finally like. So I'm holding out for.
Have you been borrowing? Have you?
I haven't borrowed it yet because I'm currently in the process of moving, which I'm sure everyone's very interested in.
Yep.
So I haven't wanted to start
Yeah, of course.
How much
like
stuff you
putting
moved?
nothing.
Oh.
Putting
You're
all
not
my
doing very well,
time.
then.
Hey, shut up.
Terrible movie.
I didn't want to sink my time into a game until I'm kind of more settled in my life.
Yeah.
So I was going to play that from
Right.
next week.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I've tried, I think, 2 different Final Fantasy games and gave up after about 3 hours.
What were the 2 you tried again?
I
It
can't
was-
remember.
One was 13, right? Wasn't it? I'm sure.
Maybe. I think one of them was 8.
I like it. I like
Okay,
it a lot.
because if you had said 7 there, I imagine we'd have had to like keep your new house under armed guard for a bit. Like CBS would have had to pay for people to
Yeah.
like protect you.
Hmm.
But 8, I think we can save them.
Yeah,
money on that.
I think
Ah,
it
but I
was.
love 8.
Yeah, I think it was 8.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to protect you from Mark.
Well, I'm not that.
As per usual.
Ah. Speaking other game that I've played, sorry.
Segue.
Sorry, that was a
Speaking of
terrible,
Valhalla.
that was a terrible segue, and I only did that because I just thought it just popped into my head all of a sudden. The other game that is going up for review soon is The Cave as well.
The
Yes.
cave.
Within a matter of hours at
A
time of
matter
recording.
of hours.
I believe the embargo for that was lifted early.
Yeah, which kind of screwed us
Who else
over.
has everyone else reviewed it?
So I looked on Metacritic earlier. A few
Look
more
at
have popped up.
rivalvideogamewebsite.com.
A few have
Just
popped
try
up.
bomb.
Ours is gonna be up as soon as Johnny finishes editing the video review,
Which he's
basically,
doing right now.
which he's doing right now. So yeah, hopefully soon.
Right.
And I really quite liked it.
I
It's
found
not
it-
amazing, but it's it's pretty fun. I like the puzzles.
I played it shortly with you when you were trying out all
Mm.
the different co-opiness,
Mm.
and I found it vaguely irritating,
Yeah,
but charming at the same time.
I've discovered that despite the fact it has a 3-player co-op mode, don't play it with 3 players. Just play it on your own.
Just
it
like
actually
Mario.
works
it's the way
way
that
better.
you can take over another person's character.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, the mechanics of it in multiplayer, I thought were a bit frustrating. We're gonna live stream it from 5 tonight, so you can ask your questions to Mark once the embargo. Well,
It's lifted now.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about
All right, but
Yeah,
let's
you're right,
pretend
yeah.
it hasn't.
Let's
so
just,
All right,
let's just
let's
pretend
do
it
it on
hasn't, 'cause
schedule.
This is
Yeah.
our big embargo reveal. But I'm going to play it for a couple more hours. So you suggest just single
Play
player?
it on your own. The thing that it does is it takes a little while to adapt its way of thinking
Yeah.
about moving the characters.
Yeah.
Because you do have to move them individually, and they don't group. There's no way to group them together. But the reason for that is that there are loads of puzzles where you have to have them separated,
Quite diverse, yeah.
and that does work. And that's you sort of once you wrap your head around that, and you get into its logic, is quite good.
Yeah, I think,
So-
that's good and everything for logical thinking and puzzle solving, but when you end up playing co-op with someone, you do end up just digging with them.
Yeah.
And that is very easy to do in this game
My
by possessing the character they were currently playing with.
I mean, my biggest thing was why not just have a button to push one button, it groups them all together again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need. That would have solved so many of the frustrations.
Around player one, maybe.
Yeah,
They could be the leader, I guess.
Yeah.
And so we should say, I don't think we mentioned this is the new game from Ron Gilbert,
Ron
which
Gilbert.
is the sort of creator of Manic Mansion and all that sort of stuff. And the
Yeah, in fact, I
classic
mean, the reason it has 3 players is he wanted to hark back to Manic Mansion, which was similar in that you'd have multiple characters that you had to move through and do all that stuff.
just to address some concerns from people in the comments as well. Random Encounter will be back tomorrow from 4. We're doing the embargo live stream for the cave today because we thought it would be 5 p.m. and then
Yeah.
it wasn't.
No.
This keeps happening. What the hell, publishers?
Look, let's just stick to a time, people.
Yeah.
All right. If you say 5, it's 5.
Let's do
let's
this.
Let's not just make it vague. It's exact.
Did it with Ni No Kuni as well. So annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the cave.
What's the next big game coming out?
After this, I think Antichamber is okay. It's not big, but
I
I
played
think
that
it's
yesterday.
really.
How did you enjoy
looking
it?
great.
See, I played that yesterday.
I know, it looks good.
On Random Encounter.
Yeah.
I went onto the live stream and it was part way through you playing level and I was very confused.
I was confused.
But
I
if, you,
actually want to talk about it, so go on.
Okay.
if you're talking about
Talking big games, I mean, Woodcutter Simulator 2013
Oh,
is
yeah.
the biggest, of course. That's coming. That's
publishing
coming
that?
this week. Not Excalibur. Not Excalibur. I forget who it is actually. Hold on 1 second. I can tell you.
Good, I'm very
I
interested.
can tell you. I know you're interested in this. It's UIG Entertainment, and it's developed by Icaron. So.
What
My
else have those
faves.
guys done?
What is this? Like some sort of test on how to use the site?
Yeah. It's an intuitive test.
I know this.
Yeah.
I know it's off by heart, but they've done Bungee Jumping Simulator,
That's great.
nice.
Dr. Watson Treasure Island, Hotel Giant 2012 Gold Edition, is it Industry Giant? Yeah, Industry Giant 2012. So all the big hitters, all
Yeah.
the big
So
ones.
in the bungee jumping simulator, is it you have to, you're given this person this weight and height, and you have to make sure everything's set up correctly, or they'll smash
I
their
hope
face
so.
against the ground?
I'm not sure, Sarah, but it does have the greatest box art of all time, Bungee Jumping Simulator. It's a guy with dreadlocks, or a girl with dreadlocks.
I just want to be
can't
free,
quite tell.
man.
Oh dear.
And it says wild jumps, stunning locations. That's the
Wow.
tagline. So yes.
I-
Does that answer your question, though, Martin? That's the
I'm more
next bit.
interested in Dr. Watson's Treasure Island.
Yeah.
I don't. No, I'm not going to.
No,
A
don't-
mix of
don't-
both Dr.
don't-
Watson
don't.
and Treasure
Treasure
Island.
Island.
It's not.
Together at last.
It's not. The next big game, which I
Yeah.
totally forgot about, is Dead Space 3.
Dead Space
Dead Space.
Yeah.
Yay!
Which is February 8th.
Probably the 8th.
Not a Murder City of Gangsters. Though.
No, I skipped over that one, I'm afraid. Well, there is the one week that was in MCV the other day. Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage 2 is out on
Yeah.
February 8th
Ken,
as well.
is Ken an angry dude?
I'd play that.
What is that?
I believe it's the latest game in the Fist and All-Star.
Yeah.
In the Fist of the North Star.
Have you
Ken's
watched
Racing.
Fist of the North
Particularly
Star?
the Ken's Rage.
No.
Okay, so Fist and All-Star is this anime that was
Oh,
popular in the
okay.
early 90s.
Now it all makes sense.
And it was great. And it's basically this dude who I think's been slighted or wronged, probably in a dark way.
Right.
No, that's an original setup for a video game.
And he's got these incredible, kung fu powers where he knows, I think it's the pressure points in the human body.
Wow.
And then if he punches them in the right way, honest to God, they explode.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
He's so angry, people
So-
explode with his very
His
touch.
rage.
yeah. So basically, that
A
game
video game of that would be good.
probably can't be bad.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Although,
that's...
I also don't want that statement to be taken as an endorsement.
Yeah, they could put that on the
Because
box
it
now.
could quite conceivably be bad. But I do want to play it because
I want to play it as well.
any game where you can punch people into explosions
It's good.
is usually
What sort
at
of
least a
explosions?
thing.
Like
Yes, a fiery,
Oh,
and they
no,
just meat
bloody-
everywhere.
yeah, they pop.
Oh
Okay.
wow. Okay.
So
Crazy.
obviously the trick there is to learn where these magical pressure points are, and no doubt someone listening has a more comprehensive understanding of Fist and All Star than I do.
Yeah, tweet us or get in
But-
touch.
Yeah. Fist
But
of the
the
North.
theory is that I could punch you in a certain way,
Yes.
and then you would immediately die.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like in Kill Bill when she does the certain
Five
setting.
point.
Yeah.
5 palm hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a bit like that. I
And
guess.
it's
I don't know.
you make that many steps and you make your next step and you will die, kind of thing.
It's a bit like that, but a bit more fatal.
Okay.
Well,
A bit
no,
more
A
fatal.
bit more fatal
A
than
bit
Both
dying.
fatal.
A bit more
A bit more-
explosive.
immediately fatal.
Yeah.
that's
Right,
what I'm
okay.
saying. There's more viscera.
Nice.
So, aside from those two, the week after that, having just looked through, there's Aliens Colonial Marines, which I totally forgot.
Now that's
about.
based on the film Aliens.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Okay.
you may have seen, but that's this crazy film from the 80s where.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Okay.
My other favourite game from that week is Super Black Bass 3D.
Oh,
which
that's
I did
good.
not know that
That's
existed.
good.
Cool.
On 3DS?
On 3DS, you
Right.
can experience fishing in vivid 3D.
I believe that's based off an old 19th century novel. And they basically interpreted it in a new way.
Yeah.
Which is it's basically Pride and
On
Prejudice,
fishing.
but with fishing. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Lots of people say they hope Aliens is good. I hope it is as well.
Yeah. There's a
There's
there's a
There's
nagging
hope.
doubt in my mind,
But-
though. A horrible nagging doubt.
Is it? It's been in development for like 45 years.
Yeah.
It has. It has. Yeah.
And the last round of previews weren't that positive.
They weren't.
Mm.
One of which I wrote. I wasn't that positive. Let me just say I wasn't that positive about it. But yeah, it's coming soon. I mean, it would have been better maybe coming out last year when the whole Prometheus thing was happening. But
Yeah. Like
Wasn't that one they planned? Anyway?
I think the original plan for this was actually that it was supposed to come out before the last one that came out,
before.
the Rebellion one.
Oh wow!
Like,
Okay.
it's
Like
been
that was-
delayed
and
that
was
much.
Many years
Wow.
ago.
I may be wrong on that, but I think I remember reading something along those lines.
As someone's pointed out, though, Gearbox knows how to make shooty games.
Well, they know how to make one shoot.
They know how to
Yeah.
make shooty games with lots of loot in it.
Yeah.
Other games like Duke Nukem maybe
I
not.
think they're less shitty.
Exactly.
games.
They also know how to make that one.
Yeah.
Which is probably the worst one of the last few years. Isn't it?
It is the worst one. It's occurred to me that we haven't done the news quiz, and it's 1:45.
Whoa!
Wow.
45 minutes of random chat.
So we should probably do the news quiz, which this week
Random.
features lots of news that Martin's written. So I apologise in advance.
Martin, you cheat.
Yeah, it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Type of thing. What?
Okay, standard quiz rules apply. Say,
So
just
don't look up the news while.
don't look up the
okay.
news on your laptop
Don't
or
look at the
tablet
chat,
device.
guy.
Okay, no chat, I'm
Um,
off chat.
Yeah, no one give Guy any help in the chat.
Chat down.
Shout out when you know the answer. If you get it wrong, that means you are out for that round. Unless everyone else
You
gets
are
it wrong, then
dead.
you get another guess. Okay?
Right.
Everyone clear on the
Sure.
rules?
How do
I
we,
wasn't
do
really
we
paying
buzz?
attention, but yes.
Just shout out.
Just shout
Isn't
out.
it?
Shout out the answer.
We're not doing
Buzz.
buzzers.
Buzz.
Far too technical. So, first question is there's multiple answers. So, supposed technical documents leaked by VG Leaks.
Xbox 720.
Okay.
Blu-ray.
List the specs of Microsoft next console. Code
Blu-ray.
Durango. Point for each key spec you can name. Yes, you get a point for Blu-ray. Any other specs?
8-core processor.
Yes.
8
that's a point
gigabyte
for
RAM.
you. That's yes, point each. Any more?
Uh,
It was
graphics card.
More specific.
DirectX 11.1.
Nice.
I will give you a point for that. Yes, that's 2 for you.
Because she's correct. You got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always requires a hard drive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll give you that. That's I got SATA 2.0 hard drive.
It has
Yeah.
controllers.
Connect built in.
Hey,
Connect
shit.
built in.
That is not.
That
a
was
thing.
in the news
That was in
story.
the news
Connect
story.
is in the news story, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, fine.
Video
Okay.
output.
Fine.
You wrote it. I'm taking your word
Video
for it.
output.
I mean, you know. I was
USB 3.
yes,
does have
that's
USB
4 points.
God, you're good.
HDMI 1.4
4A.
something.
Ooh, who to give
1.4.
it? I'll give it to you because you were saying it.
She was,
so
I did finish.
5 points.
He said it first, though.
Why?
Well, look.
I read the story.
Whatever, I'm caning this guy. Shut up.
There's.
80211N.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's it actually. Unless you after that it's really technical.
Oh,
stuff.
32 kilobyte cache.
There's a different kind of RAM. There's 32 megabytes of like S something RAM.
Isn't there like something
MV
clock?
RAM.
Some sort of special ultra fast RAM.
Right, we're gonna stop. That's it. You got about a billion points.
It comes
was
in a nice box.
5 points.
Yeah.
Yours was 2 points, wasn't it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just got 1 point.
I got graphics card.
Yeah, you got 1 point.
Graphics card.
You have
Wah,
controllers.
wah.
Yeah.
Controllers.
So the site also claims that this is the next Xbox. Those are the things: so 8-core CPU, Blu-ray, DirectX 11 capable GPU, 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, SATA 2 hard drive,
He's not asking a question. I'm just looking at what people. what are the-
HDMI, 802.11n, and USB 3N. Actually, is a funny one.
Codecs.
Yeah.
Many different kinds of
Video
codecs.
codec.
Why? I don't understand why it's only 802.11n when they've just released the new routers with the new standard.
AC.
Because
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
leaked
'cause
document
it's-
and may not be the truth.
Yeah, why not 802.11 AC?
Because what benefits is it going to have?
It's just, they want people to use this as a media
They want
streamer.
it to be cheap.
And gosh, or
802.11. Yeah, they want it to be cheap. 8 to
Yeah.
11N is
They can
fascinating.
release that as an add-on 6 months down the line.
Yeah, okay, but still. Anyway.
Someone says they just built a comparable PC with a 4-core processor for 400 quid.
Yeah, I mean, you can build something similar, but then, like Martin and I were talking about earlier when we did the GS
God,
News
I hope there's a video of that up on the site.
I hope so, because that would be really useful right now. You can actually look at that. We were talking about the fact that, yes, if you were to directly compare this to a PC, then probably you could build something similar, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your PC is going to be more powerful or as powerful, and doesn't mean this is weak, you know. It's an appliance, and it's programmed for in a different way, and we don't know how it's going to work. So until we do, lay off it.
And all this could be made up.
And this could all be made up.
Potentially.
More technical things, 32 kilobytes of L1 cache, 2 megs of L2 cache, DirectX 11, graphics card at 800 megahertz with 12 shader cores and 768 threads.
Although, for the record, I don't believe that this is... I think this is a credible leak.
This is credible, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting and exciting time, really.
Yeah.
Not excited? Not excited right
I
now?
am excited.
You might be getting fatigued, maybe, with the amount.
I am excited. I can't wait to see the games. Like, as I think I've said a few times, I really want to see Destiny. I really want to see what Respawn's working on, and I really want to see. I want to see the game that has the thing that's going to become the thing. And I think I said this before on the podcast. Like, it's the next. Like, when you first saw Gears of War, you saw that Snap 2 cover stuff. And it felt like super next gen. It's like, oh, this is how games are going to be.
Yeah.
And then games were that, and then you got bored of that. Like, I want to see the next thing that they do in the game, and I want to see how all these bits and blobbles make that look.
Any ideas in your head
amazing.
as to what that might be?
No idea.
No idea.
Not the
That's-
slightest.
yeah.
I just say
What
what
a
I
new
see.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say when I see the new thing, I'll go, that's the new thing, and I write a feature about it. But I'm not nearly clever enough to think
This
up
is
the new thing. Hopefully Cliffy B's in a hotel room right now thinking
Thinking
about
up the new
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Next
Well,
question.
there's lots of other stuff though before then, isn't there? I mean, like Sony's got a load of PlayStation games, surely, like in the you know.
Oh yeah,
coming up.
I'd love to see Last of Us.
Last of
Yeah.
Us is
Yeah.
looking really good.
And presumably, you know, maybe we'll see something on Destiny soon or whatever the Infinity War guys are working on. So, lots of other stuff happening.
All right. Next question. What, according to a recent Famitsu poll, is Japan's most desired console?
PlayStation 3.
That is incorrect, Guy Cocker.
Nintendo 3DS.
That is incorrect, Martin Gaston.
When you say most desired, does that mean one that people would want or one that already exists?
Most desired.
One that
You know what I
they
mean?
want, but also exists.
Exists.
Yes.
Let's go PSP.
That is incorrect.
No.
Wii U.
That is incorrect.
PS Vita.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Vita? No.
I was going PSP because it still sells.
It is. It
Shit
does.
Why
but
aren't they
it's-
buying them then?
Well, I don't know. This is a really shoddy poll that I thought was amusing.
Oh.
So, this is according
Okay.
to Famitsu poll, which is Japan's big video games magazine. They held a poll with their readers. It turns out 64% of them wanted a Vita. Followed swiftly by the 3DS at 48%.
This doesn't include iPhone or anything like
It
that.
does.
Okay.
It does. Wii U's at 34%. PS3 is at 25%. If you move down, so a smartphone is 10%. Although for some reason they've put iPhone in its own category, which is just weird, and it says 5%. It's just going to split the vote.
That's
Yeah.
odd.
It's just really stupid, isn't it?
Wow.
Anyway, an iPad gets 7%.
Of
So
course,
yeah,
the
Vita.
question "Do you want?" is very different to the question "Will you buy?"
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But it's still interesting that there is, even if this is probably a very, very small survey, there's some interest, at least in the hardcore.
Yeah.
I'd
get one if it was a lot cheaper, I'd buy one.
Do you know what the question was that they were asked?
The
Was it
exact
for a
que-
game. Was it for playing games? What machine would you like, or was it just?
I
what
think
would
it
you
was.
like
It
in
was.
general?
What is your? I can't remember. I haven't got it written down here.
Would
I
you like
remember
one of
reading
these
it. It was
in
basically
your
what would you,
house?
what would you want?
Or
as
on the go.
Your console.
How funny that it's Vita.
How funny that it's Vita. Yeah, I'm not sure about the Vita.
I can't wait to see that at E3.
Guy's a big fan.
I've got this reputation as like the defender of Vita, but I've always
Yeah.
said it's because if I were to buy one, I don't think I would have bought one. Like it's
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
expensive. Same reason as Martin, really. It's just that we've had one in and I've taken it around and enjoyed playing on it. That's all. I'm not a massive defender. I would never say go out and buy one. I
Stop
mean,
massively defending the video.
massive
God's sake,
defender.
Guy.
God, sick of
Vita
Guy
fanboy.
banging on about. it.
Okay, so that's 6 points to Sarah now. You guys have
Sarah's
got.
great at
You guys got to
these.
catch up. Next question: Who is not the right fit for Microsoft according to former
Steve
employee?
Ballmer.
Well done, Martin. And I know you get that because we were talking about it earlier. But I included this because it was for me it was a really interesting story. Basically, a guy that used to work for Microsoft called Joe. Oh gosh, Joachim Kempin. I'm gonna just call him Joe Kempin.
Joe K.
Joe Kempin. He basically said, for Microsoft to really get back into the game seriously, you need a big change in management. As much as I respect Steve Ballmer, he may be part of that in the end.
Maybe.
So he's written this book. There's some excerpts from his book in there, but it's about his time at Microsoft and how basically Steve Ballmer is a terrible, horrible CEO to work with.
Nice.
And how if you look like someone who is basically going to overthrow him one day, he will knock that down. He'll be like, you are too successful in Microsoft. Get out.
You're too good.
Because you might take over from me one day. Not good.
Interesting.
Not a good management style. He does have some good things to say about Ballmer. He says, he's a really good sales guy and he should be in charge of that. He shouldn't be the CEO.
Right.
Someone else should be CEO. He says someone who is 35 to 40 years old, who understands the Facebook generation and the mobile community. They don't need this guy on stage with this fierce, aggressive look, announcing the next version of Windows and thinking he can score with that.
Was Bill Gates well liked? I think he was, wasn't he, within Microsoft?
He was more well liked.
But yeah.
I think when you had Bill Gates and sort of Steve Ballmer there, I think Gates sort of kept Ballmer in check.
Right.
Now Ballmer's just not left on his own to his own devices to be mental.
So a sales background person at the head of Microsoft and Apple now, right? I mean, Tim Cook's in sales.
Well, Tim Cook was in charge of inventory management, right?
Right.
So that's not strictly sales, but he's part of the reason why Apple was so successful.
Bob the Cat on the chat says Cliffy B to be the head of Microsoft.
Cliffy B.
I'd like
He
it.
is
I'd like
the
Cliffy
Facebook
B.
generation, right?
I love
Yeah,
Cliffy
he
B.
is. He's
There
the
is-
right age,
There's a list of people who I would love to have like an hour-long interview with,
Uh-huh.
and Cliffy B is definitely in like top 3.
Top 3.
Make it
Loves-
happen.
I think Cliffy B is really, really interesting, and he often gets that sort of bro image of Cliffy B. I think overtakes the fact that Cliffy B is really clever and is really, really sharp when it comes to like analysing game elements and stuff and like mechanics. I saw him. He was on the judge for like a sort of, I guess, like a game jam thing, or like there were students making games. He was on the judging panel, and it was like a video call, and he basically gave his feedback on one of these games, and he would just very concisely like tell them what wasn't working or what they needed to put in or what elements were good and they should make more of. But it was so clever, and I realised if you were a young game developer, that kind of knowledge and insight would be really interesting. I think Cliffy B's a lot smarter than he lets on a lot of the time, and and Gears is great.
So Cliff Blazinski, people actually on the chat saying who else would be on that list? Would it be Kojima?
What,
Kojima,
does
I'd
he
like
go
to-
take over Microsoft?
No, on your
just-
top interviewees.
Oh, Gabe.
Gabe,
Gabe,
Wow,
love to
yeah.
talk to Gabe.
Yeah.
You get the feeling like just when Gabe talks that if you spoke to him, like if you went out with Gabe for like a meal or a night out,
date.
or you would go back knowing a lot more than when you left the house.
Okay.
That you would.
A lot of people at Valve, and
So not Kojima.
I'd really
Not
like to talk
to-
to Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick.
That would be a good one.
Yeah,
But it would be very difficult to get him out of his. He's so media trained and so very much.
He's a businessman though. He does.
Yeah,
He
but-
occasionally gives a good quote, doesn't he? I think?
that's what I mean. Like I think from that angle, like I think it'd be really interesting to talk to him. And be like, do you know? Like I know. I would love to be able to talk to him about whether he understood why people in like the games community don't like him.
Right.
Like, and if he empathised, because obviously his goals are very different to what people in the games community want, and he's very good at what he's trying to do, but his goals are different, and whether he empathises with what people are upset about or just something like that. I'd love to have that conversation with that man.
So other people suggesting Carmack and Jade Raymond. So let's end that one there.
Yeah, Carmack's a classic one, I suppose. Anyway,
I'd just be confused.
Yeah, he's too intelligent.
Yes.
next question then. Yesterday, news broke that Atari has filed for bankruptcy, but when was the Pong creator formed? I.e., what year?
Oh, 81.
78.
79.
What was that? 81, 70.
No, I've got it wrong. It's 70s.
You're all wrong, actually. Anyone want one more guess each?
74.
77.
76.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you now. It's 1972.
I get the point. I was closest.
So, anyway, this was the news that Martin wrote up yesterday, as reported by the LA Times, that Atari and 3 affiliates filed petitions for Chapter 11 reorganization in the New York's US bankruptcy court late on Sunday. The move in an attempt to break free from its parent company, Atari SA.
So it's 41 years old, or
Yes.
40 years old.
And refocus the company on making digital and mobile titles.
We talked about it, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Atari's meant more to people wearing T-shirts than to video gamers recently.
Yeah, I have an Atari T-shirt.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, of course you do.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
So painfully.
Are we going to miss?
marked.
Are we going to miss Atari?
They're not gone yet.
Well, no, but would we?
What was the
Will
last
we?
Atari game that you played or enjoyed? I mean, I sort of remember them putting out, was it Test Drive Unlimited 2, maybe? A couple of years back.
That was Namco, man.
Is that Namco?
Yeah.
Not under the Atari banner?
Maybe.
I'm gonna have a look. hold on.
Maybe.
But they've not really meant that much to me recently. I have to be brutally honest.
It's just a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
You see a logo, and, oh, that's cool. Slap it on a lunchbox. Job
Nostalgia
done.
says that. I mean, if
Atari logo on Test Drive.
Oh,
Unlimited
really?
2, yeah.
if they could reinvent like Pong or Breakout in the way that like Namco did Pac-Man
Yeah.
DX or
Yeah, it's
Pac-Man
really good,
CE,
yeah.
like well up for that. Get it done, make it affordable. I will buy it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
That's it. That's it.
Goodbye now.
Okay. Next question is: what is rumored to be part of the PlayStation 4 controller?
Touchscreen.
That's 1 point. There's one more thing.
Biometric
That's a point for you as well. Well done.
Movements.
Movement.
Move.
Yeah, movements.
that would be great.
It comes complete with your own real-life movement.
I would
The
pay
PlayStation
upwards of
bundle
£600 for
costs
that.
£1,000.
The borrowers live inside them.
Yeah.
So
They're like
Shake-
Trojan
you-
horses for borrowers.
You shake it and it makes a rainbow.
Yeah.
wow.
Double rainbow.
It doesn't do any of those things, I'm afraid. It just has a touchscreen and biometrics.
Rubbish.
Boring.
Boring.
Next.
This is a senior game studio
Comes with free
speaking to
unicorns.
CVG, who claims Sony's research and development department has been busy testing numerous controller designs. One such design includes an LCD touchscreen and biometric sensors. Biometrics, if you don't know, is a tech capable of reading data from a person's body, like heart rate and stuff like that.
I
You
didn't
mean
know
like-
that, but thank you.
You mean like the Wii thing? The Vitality Plus
Vitality
sensor?
sensor.
It's sort of like, that. What happened to that?
Never
that
came out.
never came out, did it?
I'm still holding out hope.
I completely forgot that existed.
Valve is also looking into biometrics.
Biometrics,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't he? He was really interested. Was it like twitching eye movements or something?
Probably so.
There were loads of things. He was.
It was like, I want you to control everything just by moving your eyes.
Yeah. Because they were looking at that. They were looking at like tongue control, weren't they? At one point?
Oh, that was it. You have like
Yeah.
the most like dexterity in your
You
tongue.
have the most muscles in your tongue, and thus you're
Sexy.
able
But this is
to-
what I mean. Before Gabe was like, biometrics might be cool, I was like, Vitality Plus. After Gabe's like, biometrics might be cool, I'm like, biometrics might be cool. Like,
Oh, Gabe.
that's that guy.
You need to get over your
Yeah.
love of Gabe, man.
I
Yeah,
can't-
man.
I
That
can't.
guy.
Well into him, he's genius.
The current situation, this is according to Wikipedia, so a pinch of salt, is that it might become, well, apparently that Vitality sensor had a difficult time performing across a variety of situations, but may be released.
But surely it had one situation. You
What
put it
was
on your
its
finger
situation?
and it measured your pulse.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do anything else. That was the thing it did.
Yeah.
Well, there was only one game it would work with, which was Wii
Yeah.
Fit, right?
Yeah,
So-
it was a fitness thing. I don't know if it was Wii Fit, but
Or
definitely
something
fitness thing.
similar. But
Probably like a third-party solution that's easier.
what is Kiss
Sam,
controller?
stop derailing the...
So Seb Ford,
Seb
video
Ford.
producer extraordinaire, has looked up the Kiss controller, which I remember this video.
Oh
So
my
it's
God.
it's a video. I'm going to describe it to people listening. Is basically you can play bowling.
It's on screen.
But it's on screen.
Podcast.
Brilliant. But for the podcast, it's where you can sort of French someone, and then that's how you bowl. And you get speed and direction.
All right.
Yeah.
When are we getting that one in?
Bags in the
bad.
review.
Bagsy not.
Show
them the
Bagsy
review.
not.
I did the review.
Yeah, but you've got to find a volunteer. That ain't going to be me, matey. All right.
I love how the Vitality sensor's described, though. It's a fingertip pulse oximeter. It's an
Oximeter.
Oximeter.
Interesting.
One situation. It can't do anything else.
Well,
Right. What's its
I'm
situation?
just trying to think of how it would work in games. Maybe I suppose if you were playing like an action game and your heart rate increased while you're playing the action game, it recognised that and then made something happen as a result of it.
How long before it's actually wired into these machines? Okay, so now I've got a headset on with a little mic coming out of it. The Oculus Rift will be on my
Oculus
eyes.
Rift,
I was about to say,
I've
at
got a
CES, that looked awesome.
thing on my finger.
Well, you
I've got
don't
a pad in
until you
my
don't
hand.
until Nintendo releases it, but
Yeah.
you
The same.
may do one day.
With all these things, I'm going to look ridiculous. How long before
mnemonic.
how long before they just literally wire me into the Xbox?
Just plug me in and let me
Yeah.
Go on
go.
the Matrix,
Yeah,
into your
like,
spinal cord.
it's getting crazy.
That'd be cool though.
But I think
No, it
with
wouldn't
all-
be horrible.
With like the PlayStation controller, remember when they first had, it looked like a boomerang for the PS3.
Yeah.
That was going to be
Yeah.
the controller, and then they were like, no, that's dumb. People hate it, so they didn't do it.
Yeah. This could be as dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds, you know,
There's no limit.
There's no limit
There's
to
no
how
limit to
dumb.
how
I
dumb
mean, it's got an
things can
LCD
get.
touchscreen on it, which immediately screams Wii U,
Yeah.
which also has an LCD touchscreen
Yeah.
on it.
I hope the PS4 is typical Sony in that it literally does everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want it to do
It
everything.
only does
Yeah.
everything.
I want it to just be like when you turn it on, like your whole house just
Yeah.
shakes and vibrates. With
Do you remember the original
its
pitch
sheer
for
power.
the Cell? Do you remember the original pitch for
Yeah.
the Cell? It was like, oh, and your fridge will talk to your PlayStation.
What?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Like Crazy Ken had this incredible, like, and then everything in your house will be wired into the Cell. And I'm like, yeah, right.
It was
That's
the
a
most
cool idea.
powerful thing ever, wasn't
Yeah.
it? When
Yeah.
it was released,
Sounds good. How much does it cost? Oh.
I remember they were saying
$600.
because they were trying to get Cell into lots of other things. So they built
Yeah.
Tortoise, and I think the only other thing that used the Cell processor was a Toshiba TV that had one in it.
One TV.
It
One
is,
TV.
it is a
Sold.
phenomenal processor, though. Like, to be fair, it's a phenomenal processor.
Yeah, but just no one knows how to
No
use
one in
it.
the world, apart from Crazy Ken, knows how to use it.
maybe Naughty Dog do.
No,
No,
not
they
as much
don't.
as Ken
No,
Kutaragi.
no,
He's
okay.
the only one. And then he left Sony, so no one knows.
Now no one knows.
The secrets
He
have
has
been
the
lost.
secrets in
Yeah.
his head.
Bob the Cat Lol on our chat says they are upgrading the controller to dual shark technology.
Oh.
Like, you swing two sharks.
Yeah.
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 I'll have that. 2 actual sharks.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass, but okay.
Like my hands.
You're no fun anymore, Mark.
Well, I don't just
It
want
used to be fun. You don't want to play the kissing game. You don't want shark controllers.
I just don't want to be mauled by sharks when I play a video game.
You don't want to be
That's all.
wired into computers.
No,
like
I
in
do
the
want that.
Matrix.
By
I
the
do want that.
spine. What's wrong with you?
Actually, no, because like, you could do
Why did you
mind.
become such a square?
I'm sorry, but you can do mind control now, can't you? You have those games.
Can
that-
you?
Yeah, you know, like Mattel.
Mind
Yeah,
control,
you-
it does exist.
No, you can. There's a
So
game.
does time travel.
There's a game for
Mark,
kids that
have
they
you got a
released.
secret that you've
Right.
not told anyone?
Screw all of you. There is a game that you can buy, which is by like Mattel
You can buy
or like
it?
Tomy, and you put it was
No,
like
it's not just at like trade fairs. And
no,
stuff.
you can buy this and
Mind control.
yeah, you put like a cap on your head, right? And you use your mind to turn this air blower on and off, and it blows like a ball.
The
up
hell
and
are you
it
talking
does
about?
work.
Is this sounds like
real.
one of the experiments in Fringe.
I'm not making this
Does
up.
anyone else
Is it
watch
Mattel?
Fringe?
Yeah.
It's
When she has
someone
to
like that.
control
Just put
lights
like
with her
mind control
mind.
toy into Google. It'll come up.
Mind control.
I can't believe you don't believe me.
Mind control game.
It's-
Mindflex. Is that what it's called?
Possibly.
Mindflex, a new mental acuity game from Mattel that makes that dream a reality. The
Yeah.
hell is this game?
This
This
looks
is
kind
it.
of weird.
Seb, you found a trailer for Mindflex.
Oh my god.
No, Seb's just looking at an advert for e-bookers.
Is that pre-roll? It looks like pre-roll.
Is that is pretty wrong? Could be. No,
Yeah,
there it
that's
is.
it.
That's the
That's
one.
it.
Yeah, see, that's mind control. It's a mind control toy. He's controlling that with his brain. Screw you, Gaston.
He's not got a controller in his other hand. You guarantee that.
Look at
That's
that.
crazy. It's available. I'm looking on Amazon.com. It's $94. So
Is it? Quite
60 quid-
expensive,
60
isn't it?
quid,
It's
yeah.
quite a lot, but what I'm saying is the
But for
technology.
mind control.
The technology that can do it sort of exists right now, where you can use your mind to control little baubles.
How many people need to ask for this before I can expense one?
I think it needs reviewing, actually.
Yeah.
We could live stream it.
Nice hardware review.
Hardware review of mind control toy. Final question then: which famed UK racing developer had layoffs earlier
Codemasters.
this month? There we go. Well done,
We-
Gaston.
Grid 2's not been affected.
This is Codemasters, who has laid off as many as 80 developers as part of an internal reorganisation. A strong source told Games Industry
Not a weak
International.
source.
Not a weak
Yeah.
source, a strong one. The layoffs mainly affect the F1 developers' digital and publishing teams. The restructuring is not company-wide, is not expected to impact development on core console and PC games like Grid 2 or its yearly Formula 1 game.
It sounds like the biggest casualty from this is probably going to be F1 Online.
Right.
I don't know that for certain or anyway, but like just looking through the games that Codemasters has, the F1 Online thing didn't really work.
No. Well, did F1 All Stars though, or was it
Race
F1 Race
Stars.
Stars? Sorry, apologies.
It's not in the charts at the moment, I don't think.
It was released last year. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it came out in about
Generally poorly received.
a glut of kart races all hit
Yeah.
at a
Oh
similar
man,
time.
Sonic.
Little
yeah.
Big Planet
Little
Karting.
Big
Planet Karting.
And Sonic
Of course
was
you
good.
remember it, guys.
Of course I
you
do.
remember Little Planet
I
Karting.
remember that one.
And so maybe it was caught up in that, but yeah, I mean it's F1 and Grid are there.
Yeah,
I imagine
they're not
fine.
going to get rid of those two.
Although if you're not F1 or Grid, probably more worried.
There's Dirt as well, actually, and I think
Yeah.
Dirt's very successful.
You've
So I
got to
don't-
assume there's another Dirt game. in
Yeah,
the works, yes.
they are working on Dirt 4. They've already said. So yeah, that I assume that's still happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, sad times for people at
Sucks.
Codemasters. So we wish
So
everyone there
who
the
won the
best,
game?
but-
Who won the game?
Who won the game? Well,
Sad times.
right, sad times.
Sad
times,
but,
sad
you know,
times. Did I win?
Screw all
Did I
them.
I
Who won the
think
quiz?
I know.
It clearly wasn't you, and it clearly wasn't mine. It was Sarah Lynch this week,
Woo!
who nailed it on the Xbox round with all the specs. Well done.
Yeah.
Xbox specs.
Free Moomin.
Free movement from Sarah.
Free Moomin. If I had a Moomin, I would give
Why
you a
you
Moomin.
get a Moomin?
Where are we going to get a Moomin
They
from?
need to
Come with the new
genetically
PlayStation.
engineer Moomins.
Get any
Moomins.
PlayStation.
All right.
Googling Moomin delivery. Moominnextday.com.
Wow.
That doesn't exist.
I bet you almost everyone watching or listening doesn't know what the Moomins were.
That is speaking ill of our listeners who probably
Highly educated.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying not educated.
No, just
I'm
you
just
talking about
saying
age,
that-
aren't you?
Old.
I'm saying that we're old.
To be fair, I'm only recently acquainted with the Moomins.
Yeah.
An 8-inch soft toy is only £9.99.
Well, I want a real
glad
one.
it was a soft toy, is what I would say.
I want a real one.
Oh, a real one. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well.
Like, they're going to genetically engineer real Moomins to come with your PlayStation.
Right.
They'll deliver it, and then they'll be your best friend for life.
Fair enough. That's going to be quite expensive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If
That's
they're
probably
gonna,
going to be about
if they're going to
$600.
include everything and make it expensive, you may as well get a Moomin.
Yeah.
Moomin.
Part
Moomin there.
Moomin in it? No.
Moomins? What's the plural of Moomin?
Moomai.
Moomai.
Yeah.
Moomai.
Moominsies.
I've discovered a terrible thing that's
What?
happened here.
You've not
But,
written any questions.
No, I
have you?
have. I wrote them all down in the Google Doc, and now my Google Doc doesn't seem to find it. So what I'm going to do?
Oh.
No, but it's fine. I've got a backup plan. of-
Thanks, digital technology.
Thanks, digital tech that doesn't work when you need it to.
Would you have shared it with me? Can I help you?
I don't know what I
Should have
did.
done
I
that,
just
shouldn't
thought I did. Doesn't matter. I've got the questions here anyway. It's fine. All right. Time for the feedback.
Okay, let's do some feedback.
So, podcast@gamespot.co.uk if you want to email us, or Twitter, Facebook. Those things exist.
What's the Twitter?
Twitter.com/Facebook. No. Twitter.com/Facebook.
Controversial.
Twitter.com/GameSpot.
What's the
I'm sorry.
Facebook?
Facebook.com/GameSpot.
Wicked.
Great. So this first one is from
Twitter.com/Facebook is actually Facebook.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. Will Smedal says, "Hi GameSpot. I'm a gaming dad, and I think that this is about gaming violence." He says, "I'm a gaming dad, and I think that the appropriate games for children, the correct age rating, are fine. I certainly played violent games underage, and I certainly say that I'd be an axe murderer if I wasn't too busy being a digital axe murderer. This is actually a flippant point about socially acceptable outlets for violence. Anyway, love the podcast. Take it easy."
Does he really think he would be?
Do you?
I
Yeah,
believe he's joking.
he is joking, but you know, gaming could be an outlet.
You ever lifted an axe?
It's heavy.
They're really chuffing heavy.
Yeah.
Does this go back to our woodcutter simulation
Oh, God.
discussion?
Don't
It
give away
does.
our plans.
Yeah, sorry. No, I've not picked up an axe. Now
They're
I'm
really
thinking.
heavy.
Now I'm thinking my life isn't complete.
They're really heavy.
I should go and do
When it
this.
expense an axe.
Yeah, there's a shop up the road that I think will sell axes.
Excellent.
So if you
Excellent.
Ah.
They're extra heavy.
So if,
Get out.
conclusion, they're heavy. No, so if you see me wielding an axe instead of the Saints Row
Yeah.
sex toy bat, then don't be alarmed. I'm
It's
just
progress.
checking out the
The
weight
weight.
of an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
reckon I could swing it once and I'd put my back out.
Razor Frost on the chat says axes are quite heavy. He confirms. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's
That's
good.
independent
Maybe unless it's like a little
verification.
pickaxe.
That's what I
If
have
you're
to
going
do,
for like
yeah.
a full-on dual-handing axe.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe games are a violent outlet, but I don't feel like I would actually have a violent outlet. I don't think I'd be
No.
But who can be certain?
It's
Who
true.
can
know for
Who
sure?
can know?
There was
Without
awesome
the
point
sliders
in-
device.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
There was an awesome, sensible point, Martin, in the video game violence that Cameron did an episode of in the What If Machine, when the guy's like, well, yes, you can get more aggressive while you're playing a game, but I can also get aggressive trying to open a jar of pickles. I don't then take that anger out and kill someone,
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So-
Aggression happens in lots of places, was it?
but you
wasn't
don't
it?
do
Yeah.
anything afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, next email is from Sean, who says, hi guys, can you tell me when and where are some of the UK and or EU's best video games festivals? I went to the Gadget Show live last year and I feel that's only a small fraction. I want more. That is a very small fraction, given
Yeah.
there's not many video games at the Gadget Show live. So yeah, I guess...
Two that I know about are the London Games Festival and the Nottingham Game City.
And
Edinburgh, that's more of a.
can we say the
Yeah, I
other
think
one?
me and Mark are on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
say the other one?
yeah. Can
We have
say
to
the
plug
other one?
someone.
The other massive one.
The one in Earl's Court.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, Eurogamer Expo.
Oh, not that one.
Ah.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, Eurogamer
That's a
Expo
thing.
is the really big one that happens in London.
Just getting the dates for London Games Festival is it's a month-long festival.
Yeah, you got to
Uh,
pick what bit of it you want to go
It's
to.
not Edinburgh, mate.
It's September 27th to October the 28th of. That's 2012. Obviously, date's not announced yet.
Awesome.
Yeah, come spend a week in London, Sean. It's a
Book
fabulous
yourself
place.
a holiday to Germany, go to Gamescom.
Gamescom, yeah,
That'll
that's
be
around the same
probably
Oh,
really good
Gamescom's
this year.
mental.
Gamescom.
if you really want mental, then Gamescom is it.
Yeah.
I think.
Gamescom's great. I think Gamescom's a bit too expensive. I think the one in Earl's Court might be a cheaper alternative.
I don't think it's cheap to fly to Germany. I mean, you'd obviously have to find somewhere to stay.
How much are the passes for like a weekend?
At the one in Earl's
Gamescom?
Court.
At Gamescom.
Oh, quite expensive.
Yeah,
Right.
plus you got to pay for to get yourself over there and
think
accommodation.
sometimes
There is
it's-
camping though.
It can be almost cheaper to
Wow.
fly internationally than to get a train
Right.
to London.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I don't know if other regional airports apart from because we always fly from London to Cologne, which is where games
Cologne.
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 And I don't know if there are other regional, if you can fly from Nottingham or Edinburgh or whatever, but I'd say that's the best one. I like going to Gamescom.
Gamescom's great. Although I
It's good
do think you put all the money together and you're probably spending more than you'll get. Because the queues are
The
like
queues
3
are
hours.
enormous, yeah.
It is really busy.
If you see Martin or Mark there this year, then just accost them and just steal their press passes.
I'm almost
Yeah.
certainly having a Tiswas.
yeah, you're getting angry about the queues. Yeah.
I'm pretty much in a week-long Tiswas whenever I'm at
Just
Gamescom.
navigating it can be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
pain, but it's a great atmosphere.
Next email is from Eric Song. This is a strange email, but I'm going to read it out because it is very strange.
Okay.
I went to sleep and had a dream. In the
Oh.
dream, I was working in the GameSpot office as an intern. I only went to the reception to
Work experience.
work as a work. It's a dream.
Okay, great.
I only went to the reception to send you the donut to you guys last year. So although I can only remember vague images of the office, I was dead certain it was the GameSpot office. Anyway, I was sitting in the cafeteria, upset because I got told off by Guy.
Oh, Guy,
Oh,
how
what,
could
that
you?
guy?
Jesus, cocker.
My guy.
It's
what
always
a
been a dick.
douche.
About my article because it wasn't good enough.
Oh.
It wasn't good
I know
enough.
that feeling.
But then Mark came along and sat next to me and cheered me up.
I
And,
can verify that would never
and
happen.
he has the most friendly voice any man could make. Thanks to him, I recovered and rewrote the article, and not only have I received compliments from Guy, he promised me a full-time job. Then,
What?
just like all fairy tales, I woke up and had to spend another minute to realise it was an actual dream.
Oh.
Although I
Aw.
can't remember any bits of Mark's advice, I don't think I'll forget his friendly smile. So I want to end this email with a
Me
question.
neither. I'm
Is-
looking at it right
Yeah.
Is Mark as friendly as he was in my dream? And be honest.
Okay.
Oh,
Sometimes.
don't.
Can I answer
now. Has the
this?
capacity to.
Yeah.
He has the capacity to be very friendly, but I would say, you're trying to fix something, whatever. Guy and Mark can be very helpful, but he can also just start making jokes and going,
Yeah, Mark Walton finger point.
Right,
finger points, you up, down.
Make a mum joke or
Yeah.
just
You're like,
something.
no, for serious, I've broken this thing. Yay!
When it's serious, then I'm like, all right.
To be fair,
But
Guy,
us.
in that
Brilliant.
email, it does
Can't
sound
say that's true.
that you did a very poor job at management.
It
Yeah.
does sound. It sounds.
If you're gonna just upset someone,
Yeah, be careful because this stuff could make it into my performance review.
Someone's
think you'd have
dream.
missed-
But if
You'd have-
some's dream doesn't matter.
You'd have missed your smart
Uh,
targets with
yeah.
that kind of
Not
management.
very exactly. We don't need that kind of manager around that's not going to support our staff. But it was a dream.
It was
no,
a dream.
Still important.
It
Yeah.
was a dream. Okay,
I think it was a dream.
Thank you for that email. Next one is from Reese Davis. I'm not going to read out this whole thing, Reese, because it's quite long, but I sort of going to read some excerpts from it. It says,
I had a dream.
I had this dream, that guy.
He's really not very nice.
Guy just failed his smart targets. Was furious.
So he took it out on me.
A poor intern. Work experience.
Hello, podcasters. The reason for my writing to you this week is regarding Devil May Cry and the poor reception among fans and critics. I simply cannot
The
understand.
poor reception of a, 86 Metacritic?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
No, sorry, but more the poor reception among fans than critics.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, that was my fault. I simply cannot understand why fans of the series are having so much trouble coming to terms with a new protagonist. I remember a similar outburst when Nero was announced as the main character in 4, yet everyone enjoyed that. After watching the latest feedbacula, it seems 90% of the abuse is from people who don't actually own the game and are bashing it because Dante is a hipster with black hair or because Ninja Theory have done exactly what Capcom wanted, which is breathe new life into the series. In my opinion, they have done a damn good job too. There's lots of talk about the reviews. Ours is great, he says. Blah blah blah. Stuff about combat.
Then there's sometimes he said that
some guys.
A particular praise from Mark Walton.
Particular praise
I love his
to
hair,
him.
he's so pretty.
It's great. He says, finally we get to Dante himself, which I was fond of from the beginning. He has a lot of swagger, arrogance, and cockiness about him. And that really works in the game's favour. Throw this in with a bag full of puns, and he's a really enjoyable character, even with his haircut. A message to all the angry fanboys out there, get over it. Ninja Theory made a fine game, and given Capcom's recent performance of attempting to appeal to Western gamers, I don't think they could have done a better job themselves. And if you're still being pathetic enough to not buy this because of his appearance, there's going to be a costume pack to play as previous Dantes and Nero.
If you want free entertainment at a very high level, go to, this is something that Martin wrote about, the Metacritic reviews of the MC. Because I'm just looking at one here, it says, I got to the point of the game, slight spoiler here, where someone shoots a pregnant lady. Wow, great gameplay and story. I wish all games had the option to kill unborn human babies.
Yeah.
This game is very offensive. Do not buy it or even look at it.
Oh.
That's not entirely true.
It's not
That
for
part.
starters. It's a demon baby. Okay, it's like the son of Satan. You're not killing an unborn regular child. And when it appears, it doesn't appear as a regular baby. You don't shoot it when it's in the stomach. It appears as a giant monster that's like 70 feet tall and
Dante is actually quite put out by that.
Yeah.
Without wanting, again, I mean,
He is.
we are in spoiler
Spoilers,
territory
yeah.
here. I mean, I guess you want to flag something up, but Dante is actually quite put out by that.
Yeah.
You see, with this, I think the things there's. I worry with this whole Devil May Cry thing that a lot of the people who have grievances with the game feel that the people who work in the media are ignoring those and are just focusing on the hair stuff, which is funny. And there is lots of crazy hate for the game, which I think is not worth that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I think I forget.
Just ignore, right?
Is it Rhys Davies?
Rhys Davies.
was addressing that. That stuff is crazy. There is a genuine sort of concern, and there is a grievance with a lot of the difficulty with the game is not up to a lot of people. That's all fine. That's the genuine grievance. That stuff, I think, we'll acknowledge that. That's all real. Anyone who thinks that we're not acknowledging that stuff, no, we are. That's all there. But then there is the crazy stuff. It goes both ways. There's, when a situation gets like this, it gets so blown up and crazy. It's hard to work out. Everyone's just being hysterical. It's important for us in the media to respect that some people do have the genuine grievances that are real and valid and their concerns. And I'm kind of thinking if there's something we can do with that. Can we get a really good player in to give us some sort of real proper praise of the combat, all that stuff. But that's one side. But to the point, some people really do need to get over.
Yeah. And the previous point, Mark is obviously a great player, and he can.
Yeah.
And
give
the
us all
hair
time.
does look a bit like Mark's hair.
It
As
does.
someone point out in feedback, if you went
think?
for shaved sides, because he just has that kind of spiky top.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that though.
But if you want to look more like Dante,
Wasn't one of my aims in life, but I shall consider it.
Do you think it's what did someone put on their feedback there, or they put on a comment was that you liked it more because it's a British studio? Do you think
Yes.
you scored
Yeah,
do you think you scored it
there was
higher because he looks like him?
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
I think so.
It's possible. It's possible. The
They
world,
did actually say they were like, Mark only likes it because they got the same hair.
the world of reviews is a murky place, people.
Do you think it's one suggestion was that it would have done better if it wasn't DMC, right? Because you've got all these people that are just so fanatical about DMC. If it was just an action game, a new action
IP.
game, then
I don't know if it would have done better.
wouldn't have done as well. I don't think.
It's tricky. I don't think it would have done.
No.
I think there's still plenty of sales for that game from people that want to play Devil May Cry.
Because I'm looking at the Metacritic page right now, and there's all this noise, just like red, occasional green. Sorry, just this the reviewing scale.
It's user reviews.
User reviews, yeah, but I don't know. In it's always difficult to judge what in the real world what's happening aside from internet world.
That's the shame, though, isn't it? You see, because there are like.
It's probably.
I think that first weapon, the scythe, the angel scythe one, is rubbish.
Yeah.
I think it's a rubbish weapon. Like, but you can't have that discussion because there's so much noise and so much like craziness surrounding this game now. It's like you just again, it's that thing. Like I either have to love the game with every fibre of my being, or hate it with the burning intensity of 1,000 suns. Like you can't be like, oh, I like that game, but that weapon's a bit crap. Like it's. And I think you can get to that discussion, but it's going to take a few weeks, and it's a bit weird. It's a weird sort of trend of the industry, especially the games industry, where like you read a lot of the comments, and now like all the reviewers love the game so much that it's like their favourite game ever made, which it isn't. I'm sure no one's genuinely saying it's their favourite game ever. Like you have to be one extreme or the other, and there's a middle ground which so often turns out to be reality.
Yeah.
That we're about 6 months away from like
when everyone gets fully comprehending what that is. Yeah.
When everyone gets furious about something else, then I think we can start having like the real talk about like the ins and outs of Devil May Cry, which I do think is a really good game.
Yeah.
But I can think that while simultaneously thinking that first scythe weapon is a bit crap.
Yeah, it takes till the second level
yeah.
to really get going for me, anyway. So, yes.
And all sorts. It's just it's a tough one. Like,
does that answer the question?
Yeah, I
feel
think
like
so.
we
I think so.
ramble.
I think so. Clady literally just came in 3 minutes ago live. Said Grand Theft Auto 5 appeared on UK Amazon yesterday on console.
Did it?
Apparently so.
I thought it was Amazon France had listed it as
I saw it's PC. Amazon France did list it as PC last week.
Oh, okay. Well, it says here anyway that Grand Theft Auto 5 appeared on the UK Amazon yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you think that means it's going to be on the PC in a couple of months after the console versions?
I hope so. I think that they would be. Well, it'd be good for them to release it on PC. I mean, just speaking personally, but yeah. I think. I mean, they've released all previous GTAs on PC, so there's good form there.
The only one we never got on PC was Red Dead.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've had L.A. Noire, Max Payne 3,
Yeah.
GTA 4 and its expansion stuff, and GTA 3. Traditionally they make their way to the PC quite a few months
Later,
after.
Yeah.
In the case of GTA 4, I think it was almost a year, or maybe an actual year. San Andreas and Vice City, I think, was 6-7 months. So I think it might be a while,
Sure.
but I do think a PC version is likely.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Console's definitely a priority, I would say. But definitely.
Are there any socials?
Socials, there's loads of stuff on Twitch.
Not
just
so
lots.
much on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, well, let's see Twitch.
Pseudo Spike says, I loved Enslaved cause Pigsy. Sorry, it's something else. Cause Pigsy. Did you like Enslaved?
I thought it was pretty good.
It was okay.
I
think
did.
I preferred the MC.
I think I preferred Enslaved, which no one is saying.
Wow.
Any Facebooks or?
I just
want
had a
it?
quick look and my tablet's about to die of battery.
Oh, no.
Someone was asking, which I suppose I shall have to address them in the comments because apparently they can't watch us right now. They're saying, can you view on an iPhone? We're live streaming over Twitch and there is a Twitch app. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
sure
because
is.
it's a Flash player and all that kind of stuff, you can't watch it from our site. But there are links to watching on Twitch. And also, obviously, we have the lovely audio version because this is a podcast.
It is a podcast. Audio is happening.
Gosh,
Yeah.
where can you get that audio version?
I love
iTunes and stuff.
I love the fact that we're doing this instead of shopping on eBay, right?
What are you getting, Seb?
We're buying, Seb.
Some headphones.
Some
Sweet
headphones there.
headphones.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So it's producing, goddammit. Let the man produce.
Produce.
We're professional.
When you swear next, he'll have to dive in and cut it out. That's his job, right? He's on alert. He's on full alert. He's on maximum readiness. Give him a break.
Well, what if that auction's ending in the next 10 minutes? And he's got to be on alert for the auction.
He'll put a big bid in, right?
Big bid
Let's
in,
not
no.
question Seb's commitment
Is it
to
one of those like
production
sniping
excellence.
bots to get
I
a
use,
bid
I
in
use
right
the
at
old
the end?
sniper bots.
Yeah.
So Joey, sorry, just pronounce it. Joey EDD says, "Can anyone here help me get good at Dota 2?" That's
Martin.
Martin can.
Martin can.
Yeah. And then Teddy Ward says, "Play more, less talk." Pro Dota 2 tip. That's a pro.
Yeah, playing more is a great tip. Like,
Practice.
in all seriousness, like I think when I started out playing Dota, there was a real fear of actually playing because I was so worried about being bad or losing, or I think with games like that, especially because it's like quite an intense team game, right?
Mhm.
There is a fear of actually playing, but it's a thing you can only, and I'm not good by any stretch of imagination, but like again, it's the kind of thing you have to play to get comfortable with. For me, the most invaluable thing was getting 2 or 3 friends who I could play with on a regular basis, who were about the same level as me, and we started learning together. And because there was other people, it was like a support group.
Yeah.
I mean, you could watch loads of tips on, like, you know, if you watch loads of tips, that's fine, and you will learn from that. But nothing. The most invaluable thing for me was having some other people who we would learn by playing the game, and that's the kind of valuable advice that it sounds basic, but it's so hard to actually learn. One of the things, I know a guy who basically is starting out and is trying to learn all his tips from like big esports games.
Yeah.
And the thing with that is that those guys are world-class Dota players. Like when they do a weird tactic, they're amazing at the game, so they can pull it off. When you go into the game and you try that weird tactic, you just get killed twice as fast because you're not a world-class player. Like with football, you can't, you know, you see someone do something on the telly, go, oh, they did like a bicycle kick or whatever it's called. Doesn't mean you can then go out into the garden and start doing those. Like you have to build up to that stage. So I think that's my only tip is to play more, talk less.
So the guy that was asking that has asked if anyone wants to be their Dota friend. So
if you add me,
Joey
I'll happily
EDD.
play with you.
The people are asking, are you going to start live streaming it? Obviously, there's some people out there that want to see more of you.
Chris
Martin.
Beaumont. He's not here, right?
He's just asking when are you going to start.
I
doing
could never
this?
live stream Dota because as soon as I start playing, I become the most horrible person in the world.
Really?
And it's pretty much a non-stop 50 minutes string of profanities that get increasingly worse.
Give the people.
Be
what
like
they want.
swear along with
That's what I
Martin.
say.
Swear along with Martin is the thing.
Yeah.
Seb literally couldn't produce quick enough to bleep them out.
Yeah.
Viper117X says, personally, I'm eagerly anticipating the PC release of DMC. That's me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think that's about it, Mark. To be honest, on the
Question.
feedback
Talk
thing
feedback
front.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. Podcast at gamespot.co.uk or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch if you want to get in touch with us. Now, time to quickly run down this week's releases, which are thin on the ground. We've already talked about a couple. Devil May Cry is out on PC this week. Woodcutter Simulator 2013, which is something you mentioned earlier, Guy.
Excellent.
Plans around that horrible, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The Cave is also out, as we mentioned. Football Director, which we were sort of
Now,
like,
is that...
you know, what is that?
How is that different
Yeah, like-
from Football Manager?
I was
Well,
thinking
'cause you're
maybe
one
Kick
up
back
from
and
Manager.
have more cocktails.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you might be doing the actual matches. You could be like the guy putting on... It's like, cut to camera 3, get that goal. Cut to camera 4, oh God, the ball's gone the other way. Back to camera 2, like, maybe that.
Okay.
So like random like football gameplay would happen and you
Yeah.
have to like direct the best and you get points
Yeah.
per like how often the ball is in frame.
And in the bottom, it's the amount of viewers, because
Yeah.
otherwise they'll switch to BBC.
So just to stop the speculation, basically,
Okay.
it's an iOS game available on the App Store, and it
Oh,
looks
it's just
very-
PC on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Looks like it's very Football Manager-esque.
I'm almost certain that my game is better than this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded better. It did sound better.
Hidden Mysteries, the JFK conspiracy.
What?
Something we've all wondered.
Wow.
You know, I'm sure at one point in our lives.
It's like folding at home. What they've got is you're all attacking that issue together.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll
eventually
figure it out.
that grassy knoll guy will be found out.
Oh god.
Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth is out on Wii U as well.
I imagine they'll save it.
Probably
The end.
will.
Probably
the
spoiled
one.
the ending to that game.
That's it. Pretty slim
Not
week.
much,
It's
not
pretty,
much.
It's
But
pretty
obviously,
slim week.
Woodcutter Simulator is the big one.
Yeah, I mean, there's some indie stuff out and what have you, but you know, it's not on here, so
Shame.
that's all I've got in front of me. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us all, everyone at home, and to you, Guy, Sarah, and Martin.
Bye.
My pleasure.
And thanks to Seb again for his production skills.
Woot.
Hopefully
And
this
his
the man.
eBaying.
and his eBaying. Hopefully
the
this has
man.
given him enough time to line up the thing. Hey Seb, can you play the sting again as the outro
Yeah.
for people that haven't seen it? Because that would be great.
Seb made this
He will.
Yeah, he's
using
gonna play it.
graphics.
As promised earlier, here's that intro sting again. But at the
As an
end,
outro?
At the end, it's amazing. What are the odds? So anyway, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.